Since I have not recently recorded a full course on character creation, I would like to share some parts of it. In this clipping, I will tell you where to find ready-made character models and edit them. The thing is that I devoted the whole beginning of the first level of the course to the study of basic things and learning the basic functionality of the programs. So if you want to start developing in this direction, I think that some of this will be useful for you. We're going to start with a simple one. In the first level of our course, we are going to explore the basic functionality of the programs. We will find ready-made models for DAZ Studio, then transfer them to the character creator for customization. We're going to work a little bit on textures in Photoshop. We'll work on animation in iClone and dress our character in Marvelous Designer. And after that, you can transfer the character to any program you like for further editing. In the second step, I will show how texturing is performed on the node system. So welcome, and let's move from simple to complex. To start, we need to install the DAZ Studio. And then we need to go to Install Manager that we downloaded and install all the components to work, including DAZ Studio. Just click the Start button here and wait for it to install. And the main reason why we use DAZ Studio for the base of our character is that all the characters here have a ready rigging with all the necessary bones for animation. And there are also a large number of face bones that will help us make good face animation in the future. You can also find many ready-made characters on the DAZ Studio website, which we can then edit to make them unique. So let's go into the program and go to Smart Content or Content Library. Let's open the library and go to the People section. And first, when installing, we have a basic model that we can already use, and it will fit us quite well. Another cool thing is that we can download models not only from the official site. And on the internet, there are many resources where some users create their own characters. For example, on Twinkies Patreon, you can find many models from video games. Also on renderhub.com, we can find interesting things. Here on the site, we can go to the DAZ section and choose something for our work. You can also find models of your favorite actresses here, from different artists, and all of them are creating characters for DAZ that you can use in your creative projects. Don't rush to buy them, because in the next levels of our course, I'll show you how you can create your own characters for DAZ Studio, from video games, celebrities, or even your closest friends. But in any case, I will now show you how to install these models downloaded from the Patreon. And if to install the model from the official store, we just buy them on the site and then log in to the account DAZ Install Manager, where they appear automatically. The model from other resources we need to install manually. To do this, let's open the archive with downloaded models. Then we go to DAZ and find out the location of the character. And we need to find the library folder in here. Then I just transfer all of this stuff to this folder. Let's update the program library by clicking here Refresh. Next, I will find a folder with characters, for example. Here I have models from Twinkies. Let's create a new project too. And add a model. If you select an added model and nothing happens, it's probably a morph. First, you need to select the base DAZ character and then the loaded model. Make sure they are of the same generation. In my case, it is the 8th. Also in DAZ we have a large selection of hairstyles, accessories and clothing, which we can add later from the library by going to the appropriate section. I'll remove the standard hairstyle here and add in another. Great. Let's create a new project. And here, for example, I've uploaded some more characters from the DAZ store, which you can find in the characters section after installation. We can go to parameters, actor, select head here, and at the initial stage already combine their facial features, decreasing the intensity of one and increasing the intensity of the other character. Let's also add a hairstyle from the library. Okay, when we've got something that we can work with as a base, just click on Export FBX. I'm going to make a folder for our character. Let's save our project in DAZ Studio, we'll need it later. For further editing, we will use Eclon for animation and Character Creator to modify our character. We transfer the character to Character Creator. I click Create, Transfer, and here I can choose the generation of the character, which we can export because in DAZ there are several generations of characters. And since I mainly use the 8th generation, I choose here 3+. I'm going to click Advanced here, and I'm going to click the Bake Body Texture checkbox. I'm going to select the maximum texture resolution here, and I can also see our eyebrows and hair have been added. We need to select the appropriate category for them. If we had boots or clothes coming with our model, we could choose a category for those. Alright, if I go to the Send section, I see eyebrows and hair. Let's remove them for now to speed up the computer. We can add them later. So let's apply to our character in some easy to edit pose. I'll click Content, go to Pose, and select one of these default poses. Alright, I like this one. I'll move on to the editing section. And I will see here a lot of different parameters that will help us to modify our character. I can increase or decrease the arms, biceps, triceps, a little work with the palms, and even with the nails. The main thing that I would like to focus on is that we need to make the legs smaller by increasing the space between them. The same with the back, we need to achieve that the area here had a small gap, and this will help us in the future when animating the clothes on our character. The thing is, the clothes always get stuck in these areas. To avoid this, check all these places in all models that you import from DAZ Studio. Next, we move on to the head, and here, as well as in DAZ, we can combine facial features with other characters, edit the eyes, add a little bit of asymmetry on one of them, and then I want to start showing you what we have in the CC3 library. First, I'm going to go into the base section, and I can replace the eyes here. The thing is, the original model from DAZ has very poor quality eyes and teeth. If I go in here and I click on open mouth, I can see how bad it is, so let's replace them. And also make changes in this section. I also need to close our character's eyes and make sure the eyelashes are okay. Sometimes they're a little bit off geometry and we have to correct that too. Also, the standard CC3 library characters have very nice textures, and I can take one of them and apply that. Let's save our original textures before we move on. Exporting FBX. Let's select the maximum texture resolution here. Let's create a folder for these so we don't get confused. And unzip them simply by adding them to any 3D program. I'll use Cinema 4D. Just transfer their FBX there. And now we have a folder with the source textures. And if we compare them with the original from Daz, we'll see how on import, the character creator changed the UV of our texture. For the final rendering, we will use UV from character creator and we will work with them. And now the texture looks pretty flat. Let's not do anything with it yet. We'll come back to working on this texture later. But now let's add a normal map from the library. Let's see what we have here and apply it to the character. You can leave the full map like this by editing the layers you've created in this window and deleting what you don't want. I'll press the Ctrl-Z to show you how we can overlay this on individual layers. As you can see, I can add different wrinkles to the neck or lip texture. There's also some veins in here that add some realism. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. We can choose body textures or add skin noise. I would suggest applying some of these because these small details will give us a lot more realism in the final render. So there's also different elements on the elbows here. If we zoom in on this, we can see that the skin color is different. I'll go into the arm section here and I'll be able to tweak the color. We'll do the same thing on the arms. There's also a section with scars, if you have some idea with fighting in your scene. This can be useful as a quick addition of some element. And that's all for the first part of our video. So I'll leave a link to the full video in the description. If you're interested, also subscribe. Here I'll post different videos on character creation and I'll see you soon enough.